One day, something really strange happened. Amina, only 7 months old, suddenly started crying very loudly. It was not a normal cry. It was so loud and strange that it made her father run to her, worried. Just as he picked Amina up, the big tree she was lying under fell down with a huge crash right where she had been. Once upon a time, in a small African village surrounded by vast fields and ancient trees, there was a girl named Amina. Amina was not like any other child in the village. She was born after 12 whole months, unlike other babies who came after 9 months. This unusual birth made everyone in the village talk. Some said she was special, while others thought it was strange and a bit scary. The night Amina was born, the sky was filled with bright twinkle stars, but this happy night also brought sadness because Amina's mother passed away just after giving birth. So, Amina's father, a kind and hardworking farmer, had to take care of her all by himself. He was both mother and father to her, and he loved her more than anything in the world. Amina's father would often take her to the farm with him. He would lay her under a big shady tree where he walked on the field. Amina loved watching the leaves dance in the wind and listening to the birds sing. But one day, something really strange happened. Amina, only 7 months old, suddenly started crying very loudly. It was not a normal cry. It was so loud and strange that it made her father run to her, worried. Just as he picked Amina up, the big tree she was lying under fell down with a huge crash right where she had been. Everyone in the village was shocked. They couldn't believe it. How did Amina know? They whispered. From that day, Amina became known for being different. She would laugh in the middle of the night as if she was playing with invisible friends. Sometimes she would cry loudly as if she was scared or upset by something no one else could see. As Amina grew older, she started saying things that would come through. She would tell her father, "It is going to rain today," and even if the sky was clear, it would rain. But then she started saying things that scared the villagers. One day she said, "I am sad because tomorrow we will lose someone." And the very next day, one of her friends in the village got very sick and passed away. People in the village started to stay away from Amina. They were scared of her predictions. They whispered, "Is she a witch? And why does she know these things?" Poor Amina felt lonely because she didn't understand why people were afraid of her. She was just a girl who somehow knew things that others didn't. This is how the story of Amina began. A girl born under a starry sky, loved by her father, feared and wandered about by her village. A girl who was about to discover more about her mysterious gift and how it would change her life and the life of those around her in the village. Amina grew up as the girl everyone talked about. Her predictions, which she didn't understand herself, made her both special and scary to the people around her. Amina's father always told her, "You are unique, my child," trying to make her feel better. But Amina often felt lonely because the other kids wouldn't play with her, and their parents would quickly call them away whenever she came near. One day, Amina made a prediction that really frightened everyone. She said, "I see darkness coming over the chief's house, and it will bring much sadness." The villagers were scared because the chief was like the king of their village, a man everybody respected and loved. They whispered among themselves, "What does Amina's prediction mean? Is something bad going to happen?" Not long after Amina's word, something sad really did happen in the chief's house. The chief's youngest son, who was always full of laughter and fun, suddenly fell ill, and sadly, he passed away. This made the villagers very upset and afraid. They started saying, "Amina brings bad luck. Her words are cursed." They didn't want to believe that Amina just somehow knew things before they happened. The villagers went to the chief and said, "We must do something about Amina. She is bringing bad omens to our village." The chief, a kind and wise man, was in a tough place. He knew Amina was just a child, but he also had to calm his people's fears. Amina's father was very worried. He loved his daughter and he knew she was not to blame for the things she saw in her visions. He went to the chief and begged, "Please, don't punish my child for something she cannot control. She's not bringing these bad things. She just knows they are going to happen." The chief decided to talk to Amina. He asked her, "Why do you think you see these things before they happen?" Amina, with her innocent eyes, replied, "I don't know, Chief. I just see them in my mind like pictures in a dream." The chief, seeing her honesty and innocence, felt a deep sadness for her. He told the villagers, "We cannot blame Amina for the things she sees. She is just a child, a special child, and we should not fear her." But the villagers were still scared. They started avoiding Amina and her father. Amina felt very sad and kept to herself, spending most of her time in the field with her father, or other the big mango tree, where she felt a strange sense of peace. After this sad incident at the chief house, the villagers were more afraid of Amina than ever. They whispered, "She is not safe to have around, and her words bring only bad news." Amina felt very sad and alone, but her father was always there, telling her, "You have a gift, Amina. Don't be afraid of it." The fear in the village grew so much that one day the villagers went to the chief and said, "We can't live with Amina's predictions anymore. She must leave our village." The chief, who had always been kind to Amina, was in a very hard place. He didn't want to send Amina away, but also he wanted to keep peace in his village. Amina's father pleaded with the chief, "Please, don't send my daughter away. She is just a girl and she means no harm." But the villagers were firm. They said, "If Amina stays, we will always be afraid. We must protect our village." The chief, with a heavy heart, decided that Amina should be sent away from the village. Amina was heartbroken. She cried, "Why do I have to leave? I never wanted my vision to hurt anyone." Her father held her, trying to be strong, but his eyes were full of tears. On the day Amina was to leave, she said, "I have one last thing to share. A secret that is not mine, but the villagers." The villagers were curious. They thought, what secret could Amina know? So they gathered around even though they were still scared. Amina took them to the chief's house, to a room that was locked. The chief looked very nervous, but Amina said, "The truth is in this room." With a key that she had found in one of her visions, Amina unlocked the door. Inside, they found walls covered with names and events, all the bad things that had happened in the village. And there, in the chief's handwriting, were plans that showed he had caused some of the trouble, hoping to keep the villagers dependent on him while painting Amina and her father's image bad. In fact, it was revealed that the death of Amina's mother was the chief's plan, as he had wanted to marry her, but she refused and went to marry Amina's father instead of him. The villagers couldn't believe their eyes. They were shocked. Our chief did this, they asked. The chief had no word, he had been curt. Amina said, I saw this in a vision. I knew I had to show everyone the truth. The villagers who had been so scared of her now saw her as a hero. They realized Amina's gift was special and she had used it to save them from the chief's lies. Instead of sending Amina away, the villagers thanked her. They said, we are sorry, Amina. You are a blessing, not a curse. Amina's father hugged her proud and relieved. The chief was the one who had to leave the village, and Amina stayed, loved and respected by everyone. From that day, Amina used her gift to help the villagers. She warned them about bad weather and helped them prepare for good harvest. The villagers would say, Amina is our guardian angel. We are lucky to have her. Amina's story spread to nearby villages and she became known as the girl who could see the future. A gift that brought her from being feared to being the most loved person in the village. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. See you in our next story. Goodbye.